This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states.
Bring me the cottontails. Keep it comfy. I love a trackie.
Eavesdroppin.
Michelle.
Here I am, and I've got 3 things to say to you.
Are they 4 things, perhaps? Because you do like to swear.
Oh, well, I can say that. It's actually 3 words, not things. 3 words, but I can make it more with a few swears. Happy fucking New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
You're like the foul-mouthed granny that everybody wants.
No, I'm the foul-mouthed granny.
Rocking on the chair.
Nobody wants that.
On the veranda.
Honestly, if I was a smoker, I would be that foul-mouthed smoking granny with just a yellow streak in the white hair from all the nicotine.
Tobacco.
That would be me.
Tobacco-stained hair.
No one wants that. Happy fucking New Year, eavesdroppers. I'm Michelle.
I'm Geordie.
And thank you for listening
to Eavesdroppin, the podcast. You are eavesdroppers.
You are.
That's what we always say. You are eavesdroppers, and we thank you, and we appreciate you, and we even heart you.
We do heart you, and we heart even more our gorgeous patrons who pay a little bit of money every month. They keep us going. It helps us keep delivering this podcast.
Keeps us getting better. Michelle just asked if I would get some AI, but I said no, just don't shout into the microphone.
Well, we can't afford the AI. We can't afford the good AI. We need some more patrons.
No.
If you want us to not have crazy sound levels, we need some more patrons to bloody pay for all
Can't
this
afford
AI.
AI.
I know you can't get it all for free. The good shit's not free. They're making you pay for the good AI.
They get you hooked, and then they try and get some money out of you.
Yes, they do. A bit like us. You're hooked on eavesdropping.
Yes, we've got you hooked.
Yes.
This is a weekly podcast. In case you didn't know, welcome to the New Year's Eve party, because it's New Year's Eve. If you're listening on the 31st of December 2025. That's right. Isn't that? I had to just think about that. Yes, this is a party. You're welcome. You're invited. No one's going to turn you away. You don't have to dress up, but you can if you want. Come as you are, even.
Don't have to bring the fairy bread, but you could. And we even have a jingle about fairy bread.
Honey joys and Savoys, hands off the fairy bread, you naughty boys.
I think I was telling the people before, Michelle, those who may have just touched base with us for the very first time, welcome, number 1. Number 2, we are a weekly storytelling podcast. We're friends. We talk to each other every week. We tell each other stories, usually about the real life stories, the true crime stories, or the supernatural stories. And I think today even, or tonight, we're going to have all of the above, Michelle.
But are we going to start with some ramble? Because I've got a few things.
Well, we also give television recommendations. And if you're regular listeners, you'll know that my parents, the Gronnies, which is where I am currently staying, they gave a fascinating television review for a movie they found on Netflix.
The recent one?
They didn't know much. Yes, they didn't know much about it.
What's the name? Dunno. What was it about? Don't remember.
Well, thanks to all the people who wrote in trying to help us figure out what the Gronnies movie recommendation was. Yannicka from Amsterdam sent me an entire IMDb list, but no, it wasn't the snuff film The House on Cuckoo Lane.
Oh, God, that sounds horrific.
Safka pondered whether it was The Crystal Cuckoo or horror film The Cuckoo.
Well, thank you to our listeners who wrote in. We appreciate the time and effort you put in to finding out what they actually bloody watched.
They're going to recommend more things. There was one with Rowan Atkinson, something to do with a baby. That was a lot of fun.
Okay. Oh, God.
They're the best at recommendations, my parents. Charlene, Happy Chappy, also wrote in this week, Michelle, to explain the hump day. Do you remember we were a bit confused about
Yes.
humping day? Yeah, or hump day. It wasn't humping
The
day.
sex day.
Apparently, Wednesday is supposed to be like the hump of a hill, and when you get there, you've made it halfway through the week. But
Yeah.
Charlene pointed out it's very problematic because there's 7 days in a week and not 5. But she's guessing it's referring to the working week. Thank you, Charlene.
Oh, she's a font of knowledge, isn't she?
I love
Fount,
that.
Fount. Font? Fount.
Font.
Fount of knowledge.
Font.
F-O-U-N-T? Fount.
Font.
Right. Well, I have some Telly Rex.
Go.
I watched season 1 quite a few years ago and then kind of forgot about it. But Blue Lights.
Oh, I love that.
What a ride. Absolutely brilliant. I just caught up on season 2. I'm
Right.
going to start watching season 3. Absolutely bloody brilliant.
In preparation for the next police procedural, which is the next series of Line of Duty.
When's that coming out?
I don't know. But everybody should go and watch Blue Lights as well. It's fabulous. First series, great. Second series, I've only watched 1 episode and then dropped it because I was busy.
Oh, God, pick it back up because
I will.
it is fantastic. Only 6 eps, so you can smash through that on a one-night binge like me.
That's 6 hours, Michelle. 6 hours of television. Can't do that.
I will say pluribus.
Yes. Pluribus, that's had a lot of recommendations. People are still, well, we're living life. We can't watch all the telly all the time. But when you feel like watching something, just pick up some of our recommendations. Again, that's over on our Patreon page. A big old list.
Also, Department Q.
Oh, I love that.
Did you watch that?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I recommended it a while ago. Yeah.
Did you? Because
Yeah.
it had that lovely chap in it from Celebrity Traitors.
Mark Bonner.
Mark Bonner. That's it. The white-haired one.
Yeah.
Very nice. Now, a little bit of an anti-rec.
You've been watching a lot of TV.
No, I haven't really been watching. It's been after work. I need something to wind down. Actually, it's more for a brain numb
Yes.
rather than anything else.
Dissociative.
Dissociation.
Yeah.
Yes. So I started to watch a series called The Change.
Oh, what's that one?
Well, it's about some woman who's going through the
Oh,
menopause.
fuck that. Who wants to watch that?
No, but it was all about the eel queen and
What?
king and dumb shit. Yeah, it
What's
was meant
that?
to be comedy. I couldn't really even get through the first episode, so anti-rec on that.
Okay.
If you disagree, write in and tell me.
Write in and tear shreds off her. Tear her a new one.
Exactly. Now, there was another one that was recommended, not by one of our eavesdroppers, but another person in the ether. Such Brave Girls, it was called.
Yes, I've heard that's good.
Didn't love that. Again,
Oh.
watched part of the first episode and was like, no, not really into this, so it wasn't. And another thing, I began watching and then dropped it.
Blimey.
I start watching something after work and then like, nah, not for me, and then go to bed. But it was classic. It was, how are you? It's Alan Partridge.
Oh, gosh, yes. I haven't caught up with the latest, Alan.
It was actually not bad. And of
Oh.
course, Steve Coogan is a friend of the show.
Yes. So says Michelle.
So says me. Well, you know, I did talk to him about Eavesdroppin.
Did he sound interested?
Of course, but he's an actor. You can't trust anything they do or say.
Tell me what he said.
Wow, I'll listen to that.
Did he say I'd listen to it? Did you ask him for his number so you could send him a link?
Steve, give me your number. Cooks, give me your number. No. So they're my recs.
Marvellous. Thank you for all those recommendations, Michelle. Those of you who aren't going out with dealy boppers on your head to celebrate the new year, can sit at home and smash 6 hours of television like Michelle does.
Oh my God. Honestly, only if you're jet lagged. And I mean, my eyes were barely open. I probably missed all the good stuff in every episode.
Telerex for sure. Telerex, one more. I'm watching telly. You're watching telly. We're watching telly on the telly. It's the television.
Well, wasn't 2025 a banger of a year, Michelle?
It bloody was. If you're looking back, what are you going to celebrate? What are the good things? What's the good shit?
Yeah, that was hard to find because this year has been quite tricky with all of the division and hatred. Obviously, there was some shocking events recently as well with the Bondi massacre here in Australia and the Epstein files now. I can't make head nor tail of that. I'm not going to talk about that. It's disgusting.
Right.
But a lot of people are now in the picture, quite literally. But then there was all those global weather events like the strongest on record, especially towards the end of the year. Widespread floods and wildfires and droughts and tropical storms worldwide. Recent storms hitting Indonesia and Sri Lanka and Malaysia, killing thousands. Obviously, some of the floodwaters rose to the top of like second floor of buildings and things like that. I wanted to just talk a little bit about weather because I'm here in Australia. Everyone's so jealous, but I've been here for 6 weeks and I haven't set foot in the water really yet because it's not been very pleasant. Even though, yes, it is summer, but it hasn't been very nice.
I don't swim unless it's over 35 degrees. That's my benchmark.
Well, you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out down the south coast.
I've missed out for years. I was recently in Australia. Didn't even put a toe in.
Well, I did just go down now and the water has warmed up, so it's nice. But we just need some sunshine now and the wind to drop down. But the weather forecast for 2026 is being heavily influenced by warnings about El Niño, which is coming later in the year.
It's coming back.
It's coming back.
That bastard.
It affects flood and drought patterns worldwide.
Yeah.
And the IPCC says extreme weather is already getting worse. And forecasts make it clear climate change isn't an if anymore. It's a set of decisions that affects everything from cotton prices to summer festival calendars. So that's something to look forward to for the year ahead.
I don't think climate change has been an if for a long time. I think we've all known it's happening.
Yeah.
We're just waiting for the end. The countdown to the end.
Crikey, Michelle, that's exciting. Let's say it's the countdown to the new year. Let's add a bit of joy, at least.
But you know what? I will ask Neil the Scientist, if you're listening to this from your new post in Riyadh, please get in touch about what you think about climate change and maybe what's happening next year from your very unique perspective of being in the fucking desert.
Yeah, right. That is a unique perspective, isn't it? But if 2025 was about surviving noise, Michelle, I wanted to say this year, 2026, feels like the year that we should be quietly stepping out of that noise. Not disappearing, but just choosing ourselves a bit more carefully.
What does that mean?
What I mean by that is I'd rather not focus on the dark, but I'd rather focus on fashion and interiors trends for the new year.
Oh, okay. You got a few?
I have. Well, I often wait with great anticipation for the Pantone colour of the year. I have to say this year I'm a bit disappointed.
Okay, because last year, what was it? It was...
Can't remember.
It was brown, I think. It was like a shade of brown.
But what was it called? I just love the names that they have for
They
things.
always have interesting names. What is it this year? Or for 2026?
According to the Pantone Colour Institute and Trend Hunter, they are looking towards calmer palettes this year, and retro futurism and organic forms for interiors are all the go for the coming year.
Okay.
WGSN notes that chunky profiles, warm earthy tones blended with bright accents are interiors looks for the year. Curved sofas, sculptural lighting, clay, terracotta textures, and the 2026 colour of the year is Cloud Dancer. It sounds amazing, but it's just an off-white.
Oh.
It's described as calm and quiet.
Oh, so it's basically magnolia but cold.
Not magnolia, it's white. White's not magnolia, that's yellow.
No.
I hate magnolia.
Magnolia is a pink-white.
Magnolia has a touch of yellow in it, and I hate it.
I thought it was a touch of pink. Okay, maybe
No.
I'm wrong.
I personally think it's yellow, but maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? It's a kind of off-white, and the choice
Bit boring.
has generated a lot of debate online, I will say,
Okay.
about what white symbolises.
All right.
Maybe it's a calming influence in a society that's discovering the value of quiet reflection after a really noisy year.
I mean, every year's noisy. Every year there's shit that goes up, there's shit that goes down. I'm not sure white is a very exciting choice.
Off-white.
Off-white. And their interiors predictions or suggestions for 2026, that's old shit. Clay accents? Come on.
Yes, it did sound a little bit.
It's a retread.
It's always a rehash, isn't
Yeah.
it? Over and over and over. I didn't look at fashion.
Nah.
We've done brown.
Yes, but I'm not sure about those interiors. Although I will say, eavesdroppers, if you have any great suggestions for bathroom interiors, I'm looking to remodel a bathroom and I'm not sure whether to go minimal modern or go for something a bit more exciting and quirky.
Quirky.
Yeah, do you know what? You get these AI apps now where you just take a photo of your bathroom and it gives you all different options for your actual space.
Wow.
They're quite amazing, but you have
I
to
want
bloody
that.
pay for them.
Oh, I hate that. Don't make me pay.
You have to always bloody pay. So you take a picture of your bathroom and then you just, like Tinder, you scroll through and you go country, retro, modern, colourful, you know, whatever it is, Mediterranean.
Boho.
Barhar, all those sorts of things. I thought, oh, that's quite good. And I wanted to give it a go, but it did cost money.
How much?
I don't know. They want you to sign up. And it's like, I just want this for a day.
More data mining.
I know. I just want it for a day. I just want to ask it this one thing. I don't need for every room of my house, and I don't want you to charge me monthly. I just want it now. So they should have some kind of one-time use payment, which if it's a couple of bucks, I would do it. But if you've got any ideas, let me know. I was actually going to ask you.
Yeah.
We always talk about resolutions and don't really believe in them. But is there anything that you think, oh, next year I'm going to do this? Not so much a resolution, but...
Well, I'm learning French. I'd like to keep that up. Yes, I've been relearning French.
Are you on Duolingo?
I'm on Duolingo, yes. You can nudge me if you like.
Okay, how many days?
You can streak me if you like. I don't really understand. Oh, I've been doing it for many, many days. I don't look. You could probably have a look at me.
I'm on a streak. I'm just looking it up now.
I don't understand all those things.
Okay, I've been learning Swedish for 803 days.
Wow, well done.
Straight. That's my streak. Straight, yes.
Oh, gosh.
Because if you miss a day, it goes back to 0 unless you get a streak freeze.
Well, my son's been giving me streak freezes, which is nice. I don't know what it means, and I nudge him, but I don't know what that means either.
Oh, well, I'm now going to add you as a friend on Duolingo, and I'm going to give you a bloody nudge.
What is a nudge exactly?
It just reminds you to practice for the day.
Oh, okay.
And not to lose your streak.
I'm also doing Wordles in a group called the Worldwide Wordle Wankers.
We've talked about this before, yes.
I am in that group. So it's nice to have a group of people, you know, that we chat with. What else can I do this year? Well, let's see. I don't know, really. I haven't really thought about it. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other, I think.
Well, I'm going to do probably dry January. And I'm going to do a massive detox and cleanse.
Oh.
I'm going to fast.
A colon cleanse, a deep colon cleanse.
Yes, I'm going to eat that raw rice as an intestinal broom, all that stuff that they make you do. I'm going to do that. I bought some tablets. My partner hates that I spend so much money on supplements.
You live off tablets, yeah?
I don't live off tablets. I've got a lot, but I don't take them. I'm really bad at taking them.
So you buy them and you don't take them?
Yes, but I'm going to do a cleanse. And then I bought a dermaroller. So I'm going to do some home dermarolling.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Thank you. You know I love it when I've had it done once professionally. I thought it was fantastic for my skin. So I'm going to do a little bit of home dermarolling. If you have any wacky beauty treatments you're going to try in 2026, do write in.
Do write in. Wow, okay. Well, I'm going to continue cutting and dyeing my own hair, I guess.
Oh, I need to do that. I need to give myself a little trim. My hair straightener is a little strong. It's a little hot.
Is it burning the ends?
Burning right up in the very top of the hair.
Oh,
I'm seeing
bits are coming out.
Well, you know how you go onto YouTube and you see all of those girls going, and this is how you curl your hair, and they've got those straighteners, and then all of a sudden the curl is in the straightener and the hair is completely burned off. That terrifies me, and I have to hope that my new super hot GHD does not do that to my hair.
Oh, dear. You're playing with fire, quite literally.
I know. But also I thought, Geordie, we could just have a little look back at some of our favourite episodes from this year.
Okay.
What did you enjoy? I'll give you a moment to think.
It's hard to remember them, Michelle.
It is hard. For me, I think...
I liked the story about... that I did about, I can't even remember what it's called. The game. What was it called again? Dispatches from Elsewhere. That episode.
Yes, that was a very interesting one because we had the director of that film actually get in touch with you and tantalise you with potential interview. And then he pulled out.
And then he
Thanks
disappeared.
a lot, mate.
Spencer McCall, his name was.
Yes, it was. And the game in California, in San Francisco. Very interesting. So if you're listening, Get back in touch, you
Get back in
bastard.
touch, Spencer. I can't really find it. Was it this year even?
Yes, it was the beginning of 2025. We had a look at that.
Well, I've got here 8th of January. Prank, paranormal or paranoia. Rips in the Matrix, doppelgangers, drones and crop circles. Was that it? No. Crop circles.
No.
That's all we talked about. Okay, so it's not that one. That was in January. The telepathy tapes. That was interesting. Oh, the Amazon review killer. That was fun. Gosh, it feels like the year's just gone so far. Art hoax or reality game it was. And that was 26th of March in 2025. The Jejune Institute. Nonchalance and interdimensional hopscotch. If you don't know what we're talking about, go back and find the episode. It is Series 6 this year, episode 13.
Okay.
Yeah. San Francisco, 2008.
I think some of the more shocking ones that I researched, the ones that stand out was the Tracy Wigginson case.
Oh, the vampire.
The vampire.
That was insane.
That was just quite disturbing.
Yeah, I was quite upset listening to you tell me that.
I know. And the fact that she's out. I enjoyed that we did our first collab with the Midlifers.
Oh, yes, the Midlifers. That was fun times.
That was really fun.
We're going to do another one.
Although no one liked my hall passes. Yes, we should.
I don't think that they did have a problem with your hall passes because I think they brought him back up again. James Gandolfini was quite popular again in an episode later on.
Yes, that's true. Celebrity spit roast.
Gross.
Look that up if you don't know what I'm talking about.
Hope your mother doesn't know.
No, she doesn't. And Jen, you don't need to know. Block your ears. La, la, la. The rose petal murder. Do you remember that one? The
No, remind me.
One where this woman was having sex with animals and filming it, and then she...
No, I don't remember that. I must have blocked it from my memory.
You did block it out. I think that was the most shocking one I researched last year. Even worse than that awful vampire lady.
Oh, God. Your favourites are always disgusting, Michelle.
No, but I actually enjoyed looking back at the backstory of Carrie. I enjoyed researching.
That was good.
How Stephen King came up with that. I thought that was really fun, and it was so interesting. That was basically pulled out of the bin by the wife.
Yeah, that's
Tabby.
true, yes. It was the year of Stephen King for you, wasn't it? You keep bringing him back.
Yes.
You're in love with Stephen. You love Stephen King.
Oh, what? He's like 80.
Doesn't matter.
So, I did buy one of his books, so he got some money out of me this year.
Yeah.
Little Karen Carpenter recap. People were really touched by her story, and they loved remembering her golden voice. Voice of a generation, in fact, I think. Jono, a.k.a. Kissy 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 Apocalypse, said, 1 in a million.
Yeah.
1 in a million voice. And then I think the crematory story I did, where all those bloody dead bodies were littered everywhere, was horrific. A lot of horror in 2025.
Yeah. So that was a story that kind of made way for more and more horror and more litters, bodies littered everywhere, and made us start to think, where do we go after we die? Where are the bodies going?
Well, which brings me to a very recent one I did on Vina Hill's near-death experience, which actually kind of touched Eavesdropper Steph. She found that quite moving, that particular one. So if you have a favourite from 2025, or you would like us to cover something in 2026,
you know what to do.
Right in.
Right
Oh, no,
in.
yeah.
www.eavesdroppinpodcast.com. Hello at eavesdroppinpodcast.com. Email us a story.
Share, like, all of that.
Follow our social media.
Like, subscribe.
Instagram and Facebook.
Yep, you know what
At
to do.
eavesdroppin_.
You got that right.
Just eavesdropping. Gee.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states.
Well, that's beautiful, Michelle. Thank you for giving us a little rundown, because I hadn't even thought about... I mean, really, the year went so fast. I do sometimes wonder... I've heard on social media that the world has something to do with quantum physics, I don't know, or pressure. Neil, the scientist, please write in that the world is changing. The shape of the planet is changing, and that is affecting how time works. Time is actually going faster. Even children are saying, gosh, that went quick that year, didn't it? Normally, when you're a child, it takes forever to get through a day, let alone a year.
Yes, but kids these days, they've got all bloody computers and social media, and they're always on a device. We didn't have that growing up. Your mum would boot you out the door and say, I don't want to see you till dinner time. And that was it. And you'd have to make...
We did have devices, Michelle.
Atari.
Yes, well, I was thinking Simon Says, and I'm thinking the Merlin as well.
I'm thinking Donkey Kong.
That's even a bit too techie. Yeah, we did have the odd device. We had a stand-up Atari Space Invaders, of course.
Pinball machines. It's a device of sorts.
It's a device,
Here we go.
Exactly. We weren't all just climbing trees and scuffing knees. But overall, this vibe, I want to go back to the vibe, Michelle, for the coming year, 2026. I have actually spoken to Tameera about it, and I've got a little bit of stuff from her right now. Have a listen.
We're going to be talking about some of the shifts changing.
Yes.
Some of the insights for 2026.
26. That's right. You told me earlier that you have done a lot of work on that, because obviously you've got to prepare your year ahead and look at the planetary shifts and things
to be
like
looking, but I can also see as I'm working with my clients and looking into their life direction and their astrology, big changes that are unfolding. We're
individually.
Well, on a collective scale, because we have some slower moving planets that are all going into alignment next year in 2026, which is happening once in our lifetime.
Wow.
So that's quite extraordinary. And we're really moving into that age of Aquarius. We're moving into this space. We're at the precipice now of the way that technology is moving through at an expedited rate, but it's going to get faster. And I feel like we're right at the beginning of what is about to really snowball.
Oh my God, when you say it like that, it gives me the fear. But can we just backtrack for a second, Tameera? Because you just mentioned your private clients. And I don't want information about them, obviously, but who comes to you? What do they want from you when somebody requests a reading or time with you?
Well, I have all kinds of clients, and I have to say most of my clients are corporate. So working in the business world, I have a few creative people as well, but I have a growing number of men who also come in to have, their astrology, life direction. And what that involves is looking at timelines. That's something that's very important for me to look at when there are significant shifts, going to be unfolding within your life, and being able to tap into that to help you to really move forward with looking at the way that we are navigating, looking at the weather, what's happening during the day, and looking at the GPS to know where you're going. So that's the way that I'd interpret looking at astrology and numerology, which are ancient sciences. They go back thousands of years, back to ancient Babylonia. So it's all about working with the energies. We are right now in 2025, so we're in a collective numerology year of a 9 cycle.
Right, which is ending.
Also, in the year of the snake as well.
Snake,
right? Yeah,
eating
the year of
itself.
the snake. So the snake is shedding its skin. A lot of shifting that's happening in addition to this cycle of completion and looking at moving into 2026, which is universal year of 1. Of new beginnings coming into our
We've
life.
gone from 9 to 1 because there's no 10.
That's it,
So this is very significant, 2026.
It is significant. And in addition, we're moving into the year of the horse.
Okay.
So things are going to start moving through and galloping and moving at a faster pace.
God, okay. I'm not ready for things to go faster, especially a year, because Tameera, this year went super duper fast, right?
So we have a planet called Uranus. Okay, so Uranus rules Aquarius, and it brings through change and it brings through excitement. And when I'm looking at an astrology chart, so when there is a slow moving planet and it's impacting one of your inner planets, that's when you know that there's something major that's going to be shifting within your life. Uranus has been in Taurus the last 7 to 8 years and is moving into Aries next year in 2026. When Uranus was back in Taurus, back in the 40s, it was when we were in the Great Depression.
Right.
But also the game Monopoly came out and people were learning to barter, to trade in
Right.
different ways. So I was teaching workshops at the start of the Uranus in Taurus cycle, and I was predicting, I said, look, property market is going to be in a whole new spectrum to where it is now. The way that we are actually using our money, that's going to be changing dramatically.
Yikes.
And that's actually come
That's happened.
into fruition. It's happened.
Yeah.
If we look back 7 to 8 years ago and how different things are now, the property market, and the way that we're also using our money, it's a lot more
Less cash.
cryptocurrencies coming
Yes.
through and cash. There's even a cryptocurrency machine
What?
near where I live where you can actually, it's like an ATM, so you can go and
Get
do
out your
cryptocurrency.
cryptos.
Yeah.
Wow.
With Uranus moving into Aries next year, and we've got all fire and air.
Fire and air.
Yeah, that's going to be in the sky next year. So Uranus moving into Gemini is ruling communications and technology. So this is where we're going to be at the start of this whole change in the way that we are embodying communications. I'm also predicting be going even further into a new way that we are living our lives on a spiritual level as well, and embodying more of our leadership gifts.
How do you see that playing out?
So Neptune rules the sign of Pisces. It's connecting in with the ocean. It's a 12th house energy, so it's your spirituality.
Well, that's why they use the fish in the born again
fish.
Christian sign.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's it. Yeah, the Jesus symbol. So we're moving out of illusions, and then we're moving into a space of where we're stepping deeper into our power and deeper into seeing out of the illusions.
Wow, that's making my mind bend a little bit, actually, Tameera. I'm just trying to think about that. Is it like this on the internet and on the social medias? You see a lot of things where people are saying that they believe that we are in a matrix. Is it going to be like that?
It could well be the case.
Do you think we are?
I really believe that we are in an experience that is, when we're looking at ourselves here on this planet Earth.
Yes.
There's a lot more that's going on around in our galaxy. And if I look at, the way that AI has come through,
Yeah.
I really feel like AI is alien intelligence personally.
Do you?
I do, yeah.
Wow. If it was an alien, it's learning about us.
Learning about us and also guiding us. And so there's going to be good coming through from this. And there's also going to be some heaviness coming through from this at the same time. So
What do you think? What sort of
is
heaviness?
interesting.
What would it be?
Or just like
We're
anything in
becoming
this world.
enslaved and become alien food? Is that what you're thinking?
Well, it could go down to looking at the way that armies or wars are taking place. And so it might be going out of physical battle and going into that space where technology is used more, for example.
What, like making an entire country broke, for example?
Exactly,
You could just rip through somebody's bank account and then turn it to zero.
So that's the dark side.
That's dark. And also everything that we do on that computer, on the internet, the lights could just go out anytime. And then how would you pay your gas bill?
Exactly.
How would you do various things? How would you find your way to the Regatta Club, which is where we're going later
Exactly.
today?
So I like to keep in the light, and I like to keep
Let's stay in the light.
Yeah,
I like it in the light.
That's a popular opinion, actually, that Tameera came up with just then. She had lots more to say, and there will be a part 2. So watch this space for more of Tameera's predictions for 2026. That was just a little chat between her and I, really. And I just thought it'd be fun to pop in because we saw each other for the day. Thank you, Tameera.
Yeah, thank you, Tameera, for taking the time.
But going back to the vibe for 2026, I'm hoping that this is true. I asked AI what they thought. What he thought, she, they, them, what they thought about the coming year. And it thinks that this year it's going to be quiet. The keywords are quiet, slow, and sacred. Hopefully not chaos. I agree. 2026 energy is less announcing, more deciding, less aesthetic, more intentional, less urgency, more precision. And cultural signals that are pointing this way is fashion retreating from maximalism into texture, shape and restraint. Don't tell me we've got corsets coming back. I can't bear it. Although I don't mind a Spanx. In fact, my entire underwear wardrobe is now Spanx.
I fucking hate any tight underwear. I bought one from Primark. So
A Spanx.
admittedly, it's not a high quality item. I'll admit that. Because I thought, do I want to kind of like have a bit of shape in this outfit last night when I went out for a very nice meal? They don't work. Well, the cheap ones don't work. Maybe a Spanx does, but I love a big cottontail. It's all about comfort.
Oh, yeah.
So if that's my motto for 2026, fuck the Spanx.
Keep it comfy.
Bring me the cottontails. Keep it comfy. I love a trackie. I'm now that person who loves trackie and
You know I love a
Uggs,
trackie.
but I fucking love it and I won't apologise.
Well, they are saying that apart from the fashion, that interiors are going softer, calmer and more tactile. And this is interesting to me because they say the talk around burnout is shifting from self-care, which people are getting really fed up of, to boundary culture. That's going to get a little bit shit-itchy later on, isn't it? Boundary culture. I do love a boundary, though. You've got some.
Yes.
That's new.
Well, I do find that people are using boundary culture as a way just to be an asshole. I'm putting a boundary in, but really you're saying, fuck you, I'm selfish.
Yeah.
I'm being selfish and I don't give a fuck about what you think. And I don't agree with that. Of course I agree with putting boundaries in for yourself, but people are standing behind this. I'm creating a boundary just to be a selfish prick. And it's not nice. I would love to see a little more kindness, a little more...
Me too.
Thinking about others.
Yes.
And not just being selfish. And I know this may sound like a rant. Oh, who knew that was going to happen from me? I do find the selfishness behind people setting boundaries. It's quite disgusting, in my opinion, when done really not as a boundary, but as a way to validate their own selfish
Okay.
and nasty actions.
I don't understand where you're coming from on that front, because for me, as a counsellor, I'm often encouraging my clients to set boundaries because quite often they don't. And I did not have boundaries for many, many years, and I need them, and I need to be holding them more firmly. So I disagree with you on that front. I have yet to encounter somebody who is using boundaries as some kind of weapon, but watch this space. Maybe I will. I'll get back to you.
Now that I've spoken out about this, because I've never really thought about
it.
No, it's more that I've never verbalized it. But certainly I think next time somebody has a boundary and you see it through a lens of validation of selfish behavior.
Yes.
Which is potentially nasty or hurtful or unkind. Not selfish as in self-protection, because I do believe, yes, in self-protection, but it's validating just being a prick. Maybe you'll see now through a different lens somebody's so-called boundary. I think there's a lot of verbalization of it's my boundary or no, when really it's just because they are work shirking or doing other things. It's being misused, I believe.
It sounds to me like you've actually encountered somebody. You're talking about somebody in particular, Michelle.
I encounter it a lot, actually.
But on the flip side of that, I would say that a lot of people, especially mothers, I'm not trying to be sexist, but a lot of mothers who are also wives or, you know, have people that they have to look after in their lives are not prioritizing themselves and putting themselves and their needs and their requirements and their feelings and their self-worth gets lower and lower and lower as they put those things on the back burner. It's for other people, you know, the children are first, the partner's first, work comes first, everything comes first except for them. Boundaries need to be in place. To be looking after yourself, it's okay to do that.
Yes, but I think that going back to the beginning of what you said, people are so bored of self-care. Going and putting yourself first and taking a walk just for you, that is a boundary and it is self-care all rolled into one.
Yeah, do it.
Going and saying, I'm getting a facial, piss off. That's self-care and a boundary all in one. So I think it's all wrapped up and I'm all for taking time for yourself.
Keep giving yourself permission to do those things.
Yeah,
Good.
Do it.
And also the other thing, finally, that AI has said about 2026 is that spirituality is becoming private again, not so much the overexposure that we might be used to from social media.
Okay.
So maybe they're talking about, you know, all of, because I get a lot of witchy things, because I do the odd witchy thing here and there. I do put a little bit of cinnamon on my doorstep, or I might wash down my door in tea tree oil or something, or I do a little saging here and there. I do use a lot of incense. Maybe it's thinking about things like not a witch on Instagram, but just a witch quietly, without announcing it, without saying, here's my witchy practices for 2026. Saying that, I do have some spells for the end of the episode.
Okay. Well,
for the new year.
What I will comment about that is perhaps that is a mantra for everyone, says the girl who's on a fucking podcast talking about her personal life, that maybe everything is going to be a little more private. Yes. Not that we do this for Instagram, but how is that witch going to get followers if she's not saying, here's my witchy practices?
Yeah.
Scratch the surface, dig a little deeper. Why are these people talking about all of their practices? Are they asking for money? Do they want something from you? A little bit of quiet spirituality never went astray, I think. I mean, I prefer a little quiet.
A little bit of shush shush.
Says a girl who has a fucking podcast. So, yes, a little bit of shush shush. Very interesting. And that ties into what you were saying earlier about 2026, potentially a quiet year.
Shh. Droppin'.
I was going to have a look at some UFO sightings from this year.
Of course you must.
Of course I must. It's a little roundup, I guess, of some of the strangest real-life reportings from NUFORC, NUFORC, which stands for National UFO Reporting Centre.
Okay, that's a
NUFORC.
Could they not have jumbled that up a bit?
I don't know.
That sounds a little iffy.
Well, I looked it up. It's been around since 1974.
Oh.
It's legit,
okay.
and it's a non-profit organisation. What it does is it objectively collects and archives reports of UFOs, and they've rebranded UFOs as UAPs now.
Yeah.
But what they do is basically, it's where people who've seen shit write in with their I know what I saw stories. So
Great.
I am going to start with NUFORC UFO sighting 189472. So it was in the early morning of May 7th in Shermansdale in Pennsylvania in the US of A. T. This was the name that NUFORC has given the witness.
All right.
She stepped out onto her patio to smoke a ciggy. Almost immediately, she saw this bright white light shining from the woods beside her house. No. And it was so bright that she said it felt like a spotlight was shining out of the woods towards me.
Oh, I hate that. Oh, God.
Yep. She said the light was so intense that she couldn't even look directly at it.
Oh, my God.
Because partly it was so bright, but also she gets migraines and she thought, fuck, it's going to trigger a migraine in me. There she is smoking a ciggy. And
maybe put that ciggy
puffing
down.
Away.
Not blaming you. No victim blaming, but...
No. So while she was standing there, you know, having a cig, she heard a steady clicking sound coming from the same direction as the light. And she was
Michelle.
like, fuck. Especially because 4 days earlier, her son had had an encounter and had vanished for several hours.
What?
And he reported that himself on NUFORC.
How old is the son?
I don't know. I'm kind of focusing on T. But she had the same feeling of dread. So she went inside, locked all the doors. But she said, I don't know why I did that because my son was in his bedroom when he vanished.
Huh?
Yeah. I should have looked into the son's story. Probably more interesting. She stayed awake all night. She was so worried about the safety of her family.
Yeah.
And she wanted to just keep watch of that light from inside. So apparently her son sustained injuries during this encounter that added to her own fear that something was going to happen. And she said, I will admit it freaked me out. This click, 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 click that kept going on and on and on.
It sounds like The Last of Us. It's not good.
No.
Listen, Michelle, whereabouts is this?
Pennsylvania, Shermansdale, USA. So she says from about 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., the bright light stayed there. It was shining out of the woods. She kept watching it through the window. She was too afraid to go outside. And then around 5 o'clock, the light finally disappeared. Her husband woke up to go to work around that time and she told him what had happened. They both went outside. That's when the sun started to rise. Then she looked towards her mother-in-law's house, which is next door.
Yeah.
Saw that fucking orb again.
What?
This time it was hovering right over the roof.
Oh,
and she said to her husband,
no.
oh my God, look, it's down by your mum's house.
Oh, God.
It's over your mum's house. And he said, I see it.
Oh,
so 2 witnesses seeing this.
Yeah.
So they went back inside. He got ready for work. I don't know how because I would be so freaked out.
Bye.
And she was just like, okay, it's still there.
This is massive.
Right?
This is massive. This is huge news.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
And then she said she just kind of got on with her day and she doesn't know how much longer that orb stayed over the mother-in-law's house.
By Winky Willies, that's terrible.
But she said it wasn't the first time she'd seen strange lights near her house. A week and a half before the sun vanished, she said she'd seen an orb hovering above the ridge across the road in the middle of the night. 2 nights after that, she saw another orb hovering roughly in the middle of their driveway, which stretches for 1/4 mile. So they're out in the middle of nowhere. And she said, quote, I will admit this is a little concerning.
A little?
No fucking shit, T.
Oh, God, T.
Especially as, after her son vanished. And then apparently reappeared miles away from home, injured.
What the hell?
Could that have been he was sleepwalking? Who knows? But she did take some pictures of the orb in the woods and the one over her mother-in-law's house. But she said the pictures do not truly show how bright the light was.
Okay.
She's 51. She's a homemaker. The husband's 48. He works in construction. One of her sons is autistic, but he's not the one that had the encounter. Now, apparently, I think she has these encounters every time she goes out for a ciggy. So is she smoking wacky tobacco? I don't think so. No. She says no. But she's very unsettled by it, and she's reaching out to people wanting to talk about it. So she thinks that they, whoever they are monitoring the family.
They want to experiment on them.
Maybe, especially if the son had a visitation and a vanishing and then came back injured. So I should have fucking looked into that. Sorry.
Yes.
I should have looked into that case. Maybe next week. Maybe next week I'll go into that case. So that was one of the stories from 2025. I'm going to move on to another NUFORC UFO sighting.
Sounds like the gift that keeps giving, Michelle.
NUFORC is amazing. How did I not discover this before?
Think we'll be tapping into that for 2026?
I love it because it's real people writing in. So this is sighting 189362, and I've titled it Greys? ? So this was all happening just after 3 a.m. on May the 2nd, 2025, when a witness, and I will say witness because they do not give their name or gender on the website when talking about what happened to them. So this person in Holiday, and it's spelled Holla, Holiday, Holiday in Utah, was woken up, but, quote, felt glued to my bed and witnessed 2, maybe 3 little beings, not even a foot tall, at the base of my bed.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So they say at first it was all a blur, but this person remembers the beings clearly enough to describe them as little greys. They were smaller than anything that they'd read about, because normally greys are my height or apparently, or taller, but these were teeny tiny. So I say he, because I think it's a dude.
Right.
But they said the encounter lasted anywhere between 5 to 30 seconds, which makes me think potentially there was some missing time going on here.
Or sleep paralysis, lucid dreaming.
Yes. This is part of what I was going to wrap up with.
Sorry.
Is this no, but you're right, you've jumped in, because that was what I was thinking too. They say, quote, about these little beings, I noticed them and it was all a blur, but they were right by the electrical outlets. I know it sounds nuts, but this is without a doubt something that happened, and it was not a dream. I've been researching all day about it and what I could do. I hope someone can help me with this or tell me what it was. I couldn't move. Then either one of them or more went right out my basement window as if the window wasn't even there.
Right.
I don't know what else to report. I would love to talk to someone about this. It was as if I interrupted something when I woke up.
Oh, no.
They say, I know they weren't planning on getting me up. I can't say getting up because I couldn't move.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I couldn't really move for a while after it happened. I just lay there in my bed contemplating what had happened, and then I dozed off after a while. I don't do drugs. I don't even drink. I'm a very religious person of the LDS faith, so Latter-day Saints, i.e. dude's a Mormon, because like I said, I do feel like this is a guy. They say, this would be nuts if I brought it up to anyone in my church. So this is why I'm reaching out, obviously, to NUFORC to find someone who can explain this.
Any explanation offered from the folk at NUFORC?
From NUFORC.
NUFORC? NUFORC folk?
I want some pork on my fork here. I want some meat on my fork because I don't know if it's aliens. I don't know if it's sleep paralysis. I don't know if it's
a ghost,
vivid hallucinations, ghosts, something
slip.
Else. I don't know. Yeah. But this happened to this poor person in 2025, and I only hope 2026 does not bring more.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then I'm going to move on to my final NUFORC UFO sighting, 193270. I've called it the Michigan Orb Mystery.
Oh.
More orbs, more strange lights, Geordie.
Okay.
Right. This happened on September 1st, 2025, northern Michigan, middle of the woods.
All right.
76-year-old female. She's an artist. And her husband, who, by all accounts, seems like a very sprightly 87-year-old retired psychologist. They are sitting in their house when, at 11:38 p.m. in the evening, that is, she says, quote, I observed unusual lights in front of our house. The object appeared to be a single unit with 3 distinct illuminated sections that were pulsating pink and white most of the time, but also shifted through many other colours. These sections constantly changed shape, appearing to move and transform independently, yet remained part of one connected object.
I can't quite visualise that.
Single unit, 3 different sections, pulsating pink and white lights going through all the sections, but also lots of different colours, but independent sections. She said basically her house is in this really remote wooded area, 40 acres, about a quarter of a mile off the nearest road. There are no street lights, there's no traffic lights, there's no nearby neighbours. So the area is very dark. It's very quiet at night. So any unusual light source is immediately very noticeable. So this 76-year-old, she whips out her iPhone 15 and she starts recording a minute and a half of what she describes as a colour-changing object that seemed to shrink and disappear. Now, she's kind of smart because she says she kept filming for another 10 seconds or so because she said she knows that cameras often detect things that the eye cannot. A little bit like the Northern Lights, where in your eyes it looks like fuck all, and then you get your iPhone out or whatever phone and film it, and it looks fucking incredible.
Okay.
She did that. She goes back inside. She looks out the window and she sees the light again. But she ignores it because she's kind of freaked out and she just decides, I'm going to bed. But when she rewatches that video on her iPhone the next day, she realized that the strange light did not just vanish. It moved into a V pattern.
Oh, God.
And then zipped away. And she says, quote, around the 1 minute 18 second mark, another bright shape briefly crosses the frame from the left, very close to the camera. And she goes on to say, I've recorded hundreds of videos before on my iPhone. I've never experienced interference, but this one had static several times during filming.
Oh.
Now, I have an iPhone, Geordie. You have an iPhone.
We don't
How
get
many
static.
fucking vids have we recorded? I've never
Hundreds.
had static.
No.
I mean, yes, okay, we are doing, me licking a cat or whatever, but
Sure.
we're not at night, looking at lights in sky, although we have filmed that. No static. No weird shit. So I kind of, I hear you. I hear you, 76-year-old lady. A few weeks later, on 28th of September, 2025, so only a few months ago, the pair were watching Telly when the wife sees lights outside the same window. This time, she says, there were multiple lights of different shapes and colours, and they were appearing and disappearing in front of the house. Off she trots to get her camera, but her husband called her to come back because he was seeing a dark circle with 3 lights in the centre, arranged in a V shape. He said the lights suddenly shot outward from the centre in 3 different directions and then vanished. Now, the wife missed all of this because she'd gone to get the phone, so she does not have video footage of that. But she did take other vids that night that showed 3 separate lights moving in tandem as if they were connected. Then a strange white shape appeared and morphed into a concave glowing mass. Some people say lens flare. I don't know. Maybe not. Then skip forward to the night of October 2, moving into October 3, 2025, 12:32 a.m. The wife goes outside to let their dog out before bed. She sees a very bright light, white light, in the trees next to their stable. So they've got horses. She says the light was positioned about 10 feet off the ground, and it was level with the bottom edge of the stable roof, but it did not light up anything around it, and it was completely silent. A glowing white light that is completely dark around it. So she whips out that iPhone again and she begins filming, and she recorded the light for about 35 minutes.
Wow.
From multiple angles. And she says during that time, the light changed in brightness and appearance, and it moved to different positions. After filming it for more than half an hour, she was like, I've just got to go inside for something. I don't know what she was getting. But when she came back out, the light was gone.
Too scary. I don't like that.
I know. She said she shone a flashlight at it because she had read online, if you do that to a drone, because she thought, fuck, is this just a drone? If you shine a flashlight at it, sometimes it reacts or it shuts down or, it does something. But she says nothing happened when she shone a torch at it. Look, I don't think it was a moon or anything like that. But one interesting thing about that particular encounter was when she looked back at her videos later, she realised the object had moved quite a lot from its original position near the stable to above their generator and their propane tank. But she says she doesn't actually remember seeing it move while she was watching it. It's all a bit strange. There's a NUFORC investigator called John Budress. He actually went and interviewed these two. And he said that they were credible, intelligent, and unlikely to mistake the moon for a glowing alien orb.
Right.
Now, he thought it might be a paranormal sentient orb, but after seeing the footage, I know that is creepy to me. Some of these vids are on the site, on the NUFORC site, and I've seen them. They're not super exciting, but they are weird. He basically concluded that he has no idea what this object was, any of them. Although he does say the videos show component parts, suggesting maybe more of a mechanical real-world device rather than a spiritual energy. But he said he did not think it was a deer hunter drone because it was too low. He said also because it was silent, completely silent. He doesn't think it was a drone. Also, he did point out that this thing did not alarm any of the dogs. The dogs did not react to this.
Yeah, okay, that's important.
What do you think, Geordie, as a dog owner? The dog wasn't freaked out.
No, I think that my dog would be hiding and scared.
Even if it was a drone or an alien object, the dog would react.
Put it this way. I saw my brother's dog come in yesterday to my parents' house, which is full of knickknacks and ornaments.
And go over to Patreon if you want to see more that are on the tree.
One of them was a little porcelain dog. And I was under the impression that for dogs, it needs to smell before it actually exists for them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can talk to my dog on the phone, which I have been doing. She sometimes hears my voice and looks around, but she cannot see me on the phone because she can't smell me. This dog went absolutely crazy, got shy, got a fright, and then approached really gingerly this little porcelain dog. It was so funny.
That's
So
adorable.
I do think that if they see something that doesn't seem quite right, they will react.
Okay. Well, these dogs didn't react. So I don't actually know what that means. I think it's significant, but I don't know why it's significant. The wife was freaked out because she looked out her dining room window when she saw those objects again, and she said basically it was like it's come back again. And she felt like it wasn't just a chance occurrence, and she wondered if maybe these fucking orbs were after her or the family or something like that. And she was scared enough to stay in the house and not go outside. And honey, I'm with you. I don't think I would have done that either. So I don't know if this is some kind of high-tech project, military, maybe it's aliens, government tech, drones. It's not a fucking weather balloon, I would say. But I don't know, Geordie. And this is the thing. These NUFORC UFO sightings, they're super interesting, but there's no conclusions. It's just a way for people to write down what they saw.
Well, then I would say, as we move through these investigations, what number was that?
This one was 193270.
Crikey, okay. 193.
Yeah, 193,270.
So I would say, as we move through all of the, and already there's patterns forming between the 2 stories that you told, 3 stories that you told actually. So I would say look for the patterns.
Yes. But I just find those things really fascinating, and I love that it's real world people just giving their freaked out stories, even though those stories don't go anywhere. They saw something happened to them, and they've got some video footage. So, well, I'll link to all of those on the Patreon if you're interested.
Well done. Do that. That's just reminded me of another of our favourite stories this year, Sam the Sandown Clown. For me.
Yes.
I found it fascinating. It could all be made up. I am aware of that. But when I went through all that information that I found in the 40 Times shout out, then it really did fascinate me, and I really wanted to know more. And it made me think about doors opening to other dimensions.
Yes.
And things coming out. Yeah. Oh, well, thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. I love a bit of alien and UFO chitty chat. But now, Michelle, I'm going to finish out the episode with some wonderful little rituals that you can do for New Year, because we're not doing, what did we say we're not doing? I've forgotten the word.
We're not doing resolutions.
Not doing resolutions, but we can do a ritual because they're fun. And since I have been going to almost monthly sound baths, I'm well into a ritual. I love it. A bit like Aleister Crowley. Here we have the threshold ritual. And this is an old European folk magic ritual, and it's for letting go and a conscious transition, maybe between stages of life or something. And the origin is from Celtic, Slavic, and Germanic New Year customs. Here's what you do. Just before midnight, open your front door or window if you're shy. Say out loud, "What no longer serves me stays behind. I cross into what is mine to claim." Then close the door deliberately and light a candle immediately after.
Amazing.
Why it works psychologically is because ritualized physical movement reinforces cognitive closure. So this is backed by behavioral psychology. So therefore, I give it my seal of approval. Do it.
I might try it too.
Here's number 2, the salt and smoke reset. It's for protection and grounding. And this is Mediterranean, Middle Eastern, and British folk traditions it's based on. What you'll need is some sea salt, or any salt if you don't have that. Some incense, Palo Santo, which is that wood, rosemary, or a bay leaf. Okay, any of those things. And what you do is you sprinkle salt at your doorway or windowsill, something I do quite frequently. Waft smoke clockwise through your space or your home and say, "Only what supports me may remain." What this means is it's not about bad vibes. It's about nervous system regulation, sensory grounding, and reclaiming your space. Okay, so I'm going to give it my seal of approval once again. Go ahead and do it.
Love that.
It's not bad for you at all, and it's not crazy, and it's not sacrilegious. Just enjoy yourself. Go for it.
And you can do it from pantry items.
So easy, so cheap. Not like AI.
Exactly.
Number 3, the letter you don't burn. So burning rituals are ancient, but this one is a modern adaptation. So instead of burning, you write down what you're done carrying, what you're finished with. You know, you don't want to carry this anymore. Maybe it's your boundary, Michelle. You fold it. You put it somewhere hidden for one full lunar cycle. So you'll need to know when the moons go from, full moon to new moon and beyond. Then you revisit it at the next new moon, and then you destroy it. Doesn't matter how. You can burn it, bury it, spit it out, I don't know, tear it up, whatever. Just get rid. And why this works, it's delayed release mirrors trauma-informed practice. So we're not forcing letting go. We're just saying when you're ready. So if you've got something that's going on within that's been troubling you, something that's happened that's shaken you up, this is just parking it, coming back to it, gives you the time to process. And you put a ritual around it, which means it's kind of like you're actively doing something about it. I love that one.
Wonderful.
The New Moon Intention Bowl. This is lunar magic, and it comes from multiple different cultures. And what you do for this one is on the first new moon of January, and I don't know when that is. Maybe you can put a little link to that. Write 3 intentions. Place them in the bowl with a coin for material stability, money, a seed or grain, that's for growth, a small stone, which represents grounding, and keep it visible for the whole month. And your key rule is, don't be saying things like, I want to be happy, I want to be thin, I want to be calm, etc. Just think clarity, steadiness, courage, consistency, whatever it is that you need to see growth or stability or grounding for.
Amazing. Well, I think that's very cool to end the year on those suggestions for
rituals.
A Happy New Year.
If you're going out, you probably won't get around to doing those. If you're staying in, why not? I tell you something funny. I heard somebody say today that they were so tired they don't make it all the way through to midnight to watch the fireworks on TV. So here in Australia, New South Wales is an hour ahead of Queensland. So they watch the New South Wales fireworks at 11 p.m. and then they go to bed. So they don't miss the fireworks.
Right.
But they do miss New Year.
Exactly.
Do what you got to do, babes.
All I'll say is Happy New Year to all our amazing eavesdroppers, whether you watch the fireworks or not, whether you've stayed up, whether you're going to do those rituals, whatever you do. We just wish you a wonderful 2026. We can't wait to have you listen. We want you to tell your friends, help us to have the best eavesdropping year possible.
And we appreciate you and we heart you.
Heart, heart, heart.
And with that, there's only 3 things left to say, Michelle.
Wherever you are,
whatever you do, just keep eavesdropping
right into the new year.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! Eavesdropping, eavesdropping, dropping, eavesdropping, dropping, eavesdropping, eavesdropping, dropping, dropping, eavesdropping, eavesdropping all day long. Eavesdropping, this is a song.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Engines rev, are you listening?
It's that time of year again. Happy Honda Days, where you can drive in a Honda wonderland of your own with a great offer on a fun-to-drive new Accord, Civic, CR-V, or HR-V. Hurry into your local Honda dealer and experience the wonder of Happy Honda Days with a great deal on your favorite Honda today.
Driving in a Honda wonderland.
Contact your local Washington area Honda dealer for a great deal today.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic Si and Type R.